Welcome to Dig Inspiration, a quick recap where we dig deeper into the story behind the story. In each bite-sized episode, I'll revisit key moments from our incredible guests, highlighting the most inspiring parts of the stories they share. And today, we're dropping a quick reflection on some of the most memorable parts of my talk with Jorge Calvachi, Director of Insights at La-Z-Boy. And I'm actually going to start with a point that Jorge made at the end of the episode. So a little bit of a teaser here, so you'll have to actually listen to this episode. But one of the things that I ask our guests is, what's the last thing you bought on impulse? And his was a serious surprise. Let's just say that it is not a fast-moving consumer good. It's much more of a durable good and something that is definitely not bought on impulse very frequently. But I think the reason for that impulse really speaks to the emotional connection that Jorge talked a lot about in this episode. When you can appeal to a person emotionally through your brand activities, you can really influence their behavior in a big way. And that thread of emotional connection really carried through the conversation with Jorge. And that leads me to my second takeaway. And that is that the importance of understanding the emotional connection and how that can tie specifically to your brand building activities. So for La-Z-Boy, their foundational need was really to unpack the idea of comfort. And so when you explore that foundation, they found some really important dimensions. There's the mental aspect of comfort. There's the emotional aspect of comfort, the social aspect. And once you understand those things, you can create campaigns that really personify it. And finally, a lot of our listeners work for long tenured brands, maybe not as tenured as La-Z-Boy, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary, but other iconic brands where there comes a time where they need to redefine themselves. And I was really inspired by how Jorge has helped solidify the consumer centricity of the organization. And with every decision they make, they're asking themselves, is this good for the consumer? And that anchor in the consumer allows you to actually be quite agile. You're not running around proving or disproving hypotheses. You're really fundamentally grounded in that consumer understanding, and that allows you to go much faster. Well, that's your Dig Inspiration recap for the week. We would love to hear your takeaways and thoughts on the conversation, so please visit the link in the description and leave us a comment.